Alrighty. Not ideal, but not bad. There we go. Oh, I can actually even see a little better too. Hello, everyone. If you're catching the replay, welcome. The long ways. I'm Steve. Mark, is Mark around? Mark! He's shopping. And this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Welcome or welcome back, and happy Sunday. So we're going to be eating. Give me a uno momento while I try to fix this shit. Try. Let's see. Oh, now we can all see each other, I think. Yes, second time's the charm. Thank you. God. So, here we live. LA, hello. Andy, hello. Pixie, hello. For anyone who's interested in what we are having tonight, it is 90 degrees, so no hat. We are having fruit. I am having watermelon. I think it's a nectarine, a banana. And then if and when this thing cools, I'll have this. I had a come up. I got about 24 of these for free. So once that cools, I'll be nibbling on it a little bit. So left hand, hello. How are you? Foxy, hello. So we are. She's back. Samantha, hello. The watermelon's good. My parents came by today. And they brought some fresh stuff with them, and they were like just here. So I grabbed what I could and made it into a little fruit plate. So the bananas I had bought, they were organic. I should have known better. The shit goes bad in like 30 minutes, but it seemed to be okay. Low sodium tagine on watermelon. Not too bad. Do forgive our angle. I cannot account for why the F it looks like this right now. So, keto, so no fruit. But you make an exception when the watermelon's good. Just, burn off a few extra here or there. You'll be fine. I know. First of all, she names the cat after me. Well, after our channel. Well, she probably doesn't know I exist, but yeah, the cat thing is driving me. How many is this now? 4 cats in 3 years? 5 cats in 3 years? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you count the little one, 5. 5 cats in that much time. 4. Because she had BBJ and she had Sam. And then they were gone. Then she got Julia. And then after Julia, she tried to get another one. And then now that she's back in Canada, she had Smokey for a hot minute. But she thinks it was a rebound pet. A rebound pet. It wasn't anything she was going to take seriously. Cats can't take half the responsibility of like a rebound relationship. It's not like you found some trick and, decided from there that you were going to be. It's not how that works. It's not how that works. And I don't dislike Chantel, but the animal stuff is a lot. Now I can appreciate she has to bite a pretty sweet plum after having been off for 2 weeks. And her numbers kind of reflect that too. Her numbers show that when the day she came back, was it 30, 40,000 views on that video? Now, mind you, she was on for 1,000 hours. And then the next day and then she's going live constantly because she's, she needs that money. She needs grifted and she needs that money. Which is, hey, hate the player, not the game, I guess. But she's very transparent about it. And she's definitely of the, if I can't make you like me, I'm going to make you hate me. So when her warm welcome wasn't warm enough, I think she found her, well, I'll just make them hate me and I'll do this. And so she got a cat that looked unhealthy, pretended to care for a day, and then got rid of it. You can't treat a pet. I mean, I'm not saying anything that anyone hasn't said before, but you can't treat a pet like a prop. I mean, you can, but you're an asshole if you do. You know what? Like, I don't know. I'm pissed. I need watermelon. Big surprise, she got donations to go to the cat and then got rid of the cat. Boy, you can take the girl out of Kuwait, but you can't take the Kuwait out of the girl. I guess she didn't find her way for 3 years around the Middle East, scrounging by not doing some slick things like that, or telling people to send it to the PayPal so I can get it immediately. She should be getting paid either 2 days ago or tomorrow, because the payday has passed. So if this check will be Going into the next one will be terrible because she'll only have probably half the money unless she starts stacking up really, really quick. Amazon wishlist had a $300 tablet and a $1,300 air. First of all, you don't need no $1,300 air fryer. The one your husband had was just fine, or still husband. Where in the fuck is Solace? Carmen Sandiego? I don't know what the hell. Mm-mm. But like a tablet, really? Maybe if you didn't trade it for sex, you'd have one. The kind of things I think that a lot of us think as our hello, hey Caroline, as like semi-major purchases. Like to me, a tablet's a semi-major purchase. Anything over, I'm broke, so $300. Anything over $300 to me is like a major purchase. The kind of thing that if I dip into Mark and our joint money, I'm gonna run it past him first. You can make a wish list and hope strangers buy you shit, but the nerve. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. The nerve. She has the cat for now, has offered a running car for the cat. Hmm. Hmm. Foodie is too nose off to spite face. Any situation French Fry Girl could offer her that would be advantageous, she would turn down. Because she doesn't trust her or the situation or whatever bullshit. Plates, dishes. Yeah. Like, she's having a wedding, like a homecoming. Like, she's like, hi, I moved. Here's my Amazon wish list. Hi, I moved again. Here's another list. Like, you bring shit with you. Everything the woman owns is disposable. She left Pete's with a pile of shit and a bunch of bills and ran off to play King and I over in, Kuwait. She stayed there, and then when that went south and it got inconvenient to do all that stuff, she ditched her husband, allegedly, and the pet. Now, we all knew, including her, that she didn't really like him, but for the sake of appearances, could you at least pretend to be upset? A little bit. At least indulge the people who did believe that bullshit. And at least pretend to be a little broken up. I mean, I wouldn't be either, but I wouldn't have gone to the lengths she went to. And now if she's back in Canada, doesn't she still owe about 50 grand in back taxes? Which I imagine will come off the top of the debt she owes. So if she gets paid, they'll take their bit off first. Thanks. Mark suggested this one. Mark suggested the Canada shirt. So, Texas Voodoo, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I know if I saw her in public, I'm all like activist now, so if I saw her in public, I'd be like, shame, 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 shame. I saw her out. She claims she'll be done paying for her debts in October. First, no, she won't. The amount of money she owes, I'm sure they gave her a break on some of it, but I don't think of that. And besides, she's just going to start not paying them again. It's going to be a dip in her income, and Canada takes a bit of money. You have those Western luxuries that you treat like disposable, like healthcare. Use the ER like at the drop-in clinic. Her bankruptcy is separate from the taxes she owes. So we have this here and we have that there. Yeah, the taxes are the taxes are the taxes. They don't go away, as far as I understand. They just dive in. Hey, Annie, how are you? Caprese salad. That sounds good. She was about almost done paying off her second bankruptcy and was starting on the back taxes. She doesn't believe in doing the right thing. She believes in doing the fast thing, the quick fix. And so she's not going to see this through the right way and pay it all the way through. It could legitimately be off her back if she would just pay her bills and be done with it. Look, I'm not great with money. I have debt. Sally Mae owns this ass. Actually, she sold it to the Department of Education, and they own it now. So I can appreciate having debt, paying it sometimes, not paying it others, paying extra when you can, not paying a lot for a while, taking forbearances and asking for delay. I mean, I get it. My financial literacy isn't through the roof. But no matter how bad I fucked up my finances, I didn't move across the world. And only under threat of nuclear war and arrest for animal abuse did I decide to turn around and come home. So welcome. Home at, hello, Grateful Life. Welcome to the Smoky Deck. She was so welcome that she had to find like a place of her own that she couldn't. I'm trying to get the feel for her apartment, and I feel like she was just dropped there. I don't think she has anybody on her side financially anymore. I think she had the family as the cushion probably through her whole life. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
And then going into her 40s, like, you know, she's 40. Like, can we meditate for a minute? Chantel's like my age, and I'm a very immature 42-year-old, and she's worse than me. You know, it's really not. I don't know. I don't know. Look at all the gifted memberships. Giftedy, gift. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, nothing, Texas. She's sitting there drinking out of a plastic bowl. Like, it was practical. Like, see these batteries? She would fill this with water and drink out of it. Like, oh, lonely me. You can take your $30,000 a month things where you told everyone to sit and spin and drink out of your plastic desk organizer and eat off your Dollar Tree plates and beg for appliances that within 3 months' paycheck she's going to turn around and throw out due to lack of use. Or she'll break it. Or she'll never clean it. Because it's an urgent thing now. It's life or death now that she had this thing. And then when she gets it, like a petulant child, she gets a little bit bored. I don't know. I want a different one. I need a different chair. I need a new phone. This is my business. I need a new phone. I need electronics like that, okay? You guys wouldn't understand. You're like little fucking channels out there in space. You don't know what it's like to be a real YouTuber, okay? I came back and the world practically stopped for the 2 weeks I was gone. Look at all those broke people. Now, actually, if you've been following reaction channels, they're making bank. They made a ton of money while she was gone. Safely because she was going to come back. And I think now they're just going to pick up where they left off. Welcome basket with home cooked food, paper towels, sponges, cleaning stuff. That's nice. Yes, generous with the gifted memberships. Thank you. And welcome more people to the club. Which reminds me, one of the member perks is, aside from the ranks of how long you've been a member, is Mark and I do lives, members only lives, and so during the next week we'll be doing one of those. We'll put out a community alert for you so you can see when it is, and it'll just be he and us, so it's very casual, very chill. The screen doesn't move fast, so Mark, you know, likes to participate in that way, so plan your entire day around this. And, oh, well, thanks, Nick. I hope I can deliver. I hope I deliver. Me and my watermelon. I just want you to know that I love how vulnerable you and Mark are with your mental health check-ins. Thanks, American Trini. Part of it is helpful. You know, it all comes full circle. Part of it is when I would talk about Chantal, and I've been saying this for, at this point, years. When I see Chantal, I see a lot of me. Now, not current me, though in the back there's probably some, but that sort of strain of selfishness, that kind of everything revolves around me as the center of the world. Carrying that as a personality type, first of all, ick. It puts people off. I see her, I see me. Now, once I eventually started taking hardcore psychiatric drugs and stopped drinking, something else started to emerge out of that. But she lives for the quick fix of uncomfortable feelings, whether it's food or beezing or she's smoking or, you know, edibles, all that stuff now. Everything's fair game. She only puts that hijab on when she doesn't want to wash her hair or she's online. She'll go back to wigs or something. Unless she wants to meet just another Muslim guy. But, you know, after all this bullshit, I'd be surprised if she went that far again. Why doesn't she just have promiscuous? I don't know. I shouldn't say. She avoids, Ernest. You're correct. You're correct. She avoids, she puts aside, she tries not to, doesn't want to feel her feelings. And if it gets too real, she'll start at other people with their feelings. I'm not responsible for the way you feel. Everyone is responsible for her feelings. She's not responsible for anybody's. Not accountable to her husband, to her pet. No, the cats don't like watermelon, but you know what? Bandit likes grapefruit. If I'm cutting a grapefruit, like they're not cutting board kitties. We're so lucky because I don't do begging. Like I love the boy, not on the tables, not on the counters, no beg, no cats around food. I just don't do that. Um, and they don't jump up and beg, but the closest they get is cheap lunch meat. So whoever had Bandit for us had given him cheap lunch meat, and beyond that, grapefruit of all things. So she just wants to be. That's all well and good because she probably spent the last of her money on fucking bees and bees accessories. You know, I know of all the fruit to like. I like grapefruit myself. I can't eat it because it mixes with some of the meds I take, but I love grapefruit. And of all the things that a cat would want the smell of, citrus is supposed to turn off cats. Like you can put some orange oil in a spray bottle, and if you're going to be disciplining your animals for some reason, you can use that. So they don't do human food. Oscar will sleep right on top of Mark, right on top of him, laying down, and never had an issue. Doesn't go near the food. They have their own food, which they like, but otherwise they're good. They're well-fed boys too. They split a can of wet at lunch. They split a can of wet at dinner, and at dinner they get a little bit of extra gravy treat on the side for like a dipping sauce, and then dry food all day. Whenever it's empty, we just fill it back up. So they're not spoiled. They're not starved. They do well. Their boxes need changing. Trust me, they're eating. They're eating. So the biggest ick to me is not that she's back, it's none of that. It's that the cat shit started up right away. Because she knows the hot button to push, the one that'll make people make videos, the one that'll make people talk, the one that'll make people talk about her, is what's put out there one of the most disgusting, unflattering, unsavory human things, which is to take advantage and dismiss vulnerable life. Animal, human, whatever. The fact that you treated your cat the same way you treated Pete's doesn't say much for Pete's or Sala, but maybe that's more a reflection on Chantal as a person than their worth as individuals. I'm going real deep here now. I'm trying to justify their existence and say, hey, they might not have been stand-up guys, but they didn't ditch her. Just saying is all. Yeah, she did it on purpose. And I'm not even that great at reading the tea leaves, but she couldn't have even set up her own place so that the cat could be comfortable. Nope. And somebody had to send the goddamn bed, didn't they? And this cat that she's dealing with was a rehome of a rehome of a rehome, so it hasn't been steady. Hey, Corey. They haven't had steady housing. Now, I'm a first-time pet owner, and I really know shit about fuck, but I know how to Google, and I know people that have pets, and I know who to ask. Now, even though we've had Bandit for 10 years, there's parts of pet ownership that are just blind spots for me. I'd have to call a vet. I can't assume I know best just because I've had a pet for a while. A lot of people, it's the case because they get interested in their animal's life. But yeah, cat tree would be nice. It'll be on the Amazon list next. You honestly see her dragging any package of any amount of... She's going to have a man soon. So once she has a car, she can get a man. She can't get a man to drive her around because that's too vulnerable for her. She needs the power and needs the control of having the resources. So her car, she drives. She sets the pace. She'll only date a guy without a car. She acts like it's an inconvenience when it's a choice. I'm glad my life is so perfect that I can comment. So perfect! But, nevertheless, cat tree is nice. We have a homemade cat tree. Bandit's was made by my dad as the first kitty. Well, the first grandson kitty. My brother had a cat named Tinkerbell. I think Tinkerbell's still alive, but she's got to be 20 at this point. But the cat tree was homemade, so... That's a cute name. They have another one now called Kit Kat, and it only has 3 legs. The thinking with the name being break me off a piece of that, and it only has 3 legs, so that was the break. So they now have a 3-legged cat. I think it's missing a back leg. I think it's got the front. And then there's some other one. My brother's going to slowly turn into a cat person, I think. I don't think it was on the radar, but they just keep coming and coming. I know it's good with little kids because Tinkerbell is approaching 20. So getting the kids into a relationship with another younger pet that they'll have and that they'll play with, so when Tinkerbell crosses the Rainbow Bridge, they still have another pet they love and they trust at home. And they kind of cycle the pets out, at least until the kids are grown. For 3 rambunctious boys, they're pretty good with the animals. I've never heard horror stories about them eating the litter or putting the cat in the oven. Like, just nothing. I've just heard nothing but good stuff. My sister and her husband don't have pets. They're allergic and busy. They've always been. So they don't have pets. They have kids. Not that my brother doesn't, but my sister and her husband put kids through every sport. Soccer, swimming, everything. They're cross-trained in every athletic thing, you know. I wasn't even enjoying her when I was a kid. I would have been with Chantel, sitting on the side, complaining I had a headache. Rialto Street in Pittsburgh. Steepest street, apparently. Have you heard of it? Mm-hmm. When we went through Pittsburgh, Mark,
Yeah.
I need you in a minute. It's not urgent. So, I believe so, because we had gone through Pittsburgh. We took a road trip to Indiana, and we stopped through Pittsburgh because Mark's from Pittsburgh. So we stopped there to see a few things, and that sounds extremely, extremely scary. So we'll see. Even though Chantal didn't want the cat tree, they're little round toys with balls. Exactly, Samantha. It doesn't have to be anything grand. A cat needs love and attention and affection and its needs met. Food, clothing, shelter, fur, whatever it needs, all that stuff. So if she can't get that, and then she needs some toys, and then it needs stimulation. And that stuff is as important for a kitty. Bees and bees accessories. So, look at Mark in here, I'll find out. But I'm pretty sure that's it. Everything in Pittsburgh was scary. 3 rivers run together. And then we go up to the side of a top of a cliff when you can look down, and it's a beautiful scene of the whole city. But I get sketchy with heights. I get afraid for no reason. So, yes, a laser pointer. Anything. Anything. I think one of them does training. The oldest one reminds me of me, even in a bit of mannerism and stuff like that. The other 2 don't really, but they're still younger. It's hard to tell. But the other one's, how old is Joel? He's in his teens. Foxy, Q-tips. Save money on cat toys. Buy Q-tips. Crumble up a Post-it and throw it. You'll save yourself so much. So much. Every time I throw a Q-tip from my shoulder, it inspired me. Thank you for the super chat. Ronaldo Street in Pittsburgh.
What's it?
Ronaldo Street? D'Onofrio Street? What's the name of the street again? In Pittsburgh. A very steep street. Are you familiar?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like we went up a really steep hill at one point.
Oh yeah, we did. There's a ton of steep hills.
Thank you, Annie, for the super chat. But I forget which one, but it was like scary steep, how steep it was. So
I'll try to remember it. I don't remember.
I thought, what are the odds we have a real Pittsburghian in the building when I, was looking for it. I'll get on my homework. We'll get
There's a lot of them. I mean, the Duquesne Incline, Gahela Incline. Those are the way to get around those.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all going up to the hill. They're steep as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I'll think about it for a second.
Do some research. So, I usually have the tea towel over the shoulder, and I'm getting good at leaving it like on the burner or on like the lid if I have a pot on stove, so it's an indication to everybody that this thing is hot. Don't just pick the top off of it. So, it was just a thought. Just a thought is all. Like, okay. Any well-meaning person who's an idiot could make the choices Chantal's making with animals. Okay, any garden variety, idiot who has a big heart but no brain could do the kind of thing she does. She has to know what it looks like and has to not care. She has to not care. You couldn't look that bad if you did. You couldn't let your... Who would want to make a persona of themselves that's public? And that's your signature? That's what you're known for? I'm the one they always accuse of animal abuse, even if it's not true. Don't you think people would wonder why one person is constantly accused of animal abuse? And they have more pets than years of the last few. I don't get it. It's just unkind if you're going to move that much to get something that needs to be anchored. And she doesn't have, she doesn't have Lady Gaga money where she's taking her pets on a private plane. We're talking about her sticking this thing in a cage in coach while she takes a 15-hour flight to avoid responsibility. I don't know. So goes. But I haven't kept up. I've seen all the reactors have kept up. I usually get garlic bread in my feed. Milk tea comes into my feed too. I like her. The background looks a little familiar, doesn't it? I didn't realize how identical it was her. How identical? Here we go. Snowy is coming to Canada either. He couldn't be approved. He had tried twice to come to Canada before, from what I understand, before Chantal or during Chantal, and it just didn't work out. So yeah. I can only hope your 12-year-old girl lives another 8 years. I would hope. I want a cat to live to 20. We've already had the talk. I don't think Pete has a car because I don't think Pete has a license. Probably. It's going to have to be like they're in high school again. My mom will drive us there, pick us up and drop us off, but then she's coming back later. As long as we get her something. It's like, I remember being 15 and having those discussions, trying to coordinate plans and whose parent is the cool parent who's going to drive and pick us up. And they're at the tender age of 40. Never renewed it. Thank you for the fact check, Foxy. Had one, but never renewed it. That's as good enough for her, as long as he needs her to get around. And at the end, she wasn't doing anything for him. Like, she used to drag his ass to the comic book store, and she had other sort of friends when she was in Canada. Maybe enough time has gone past that she can go back to some of those older friends. I don't mean like Shannon, but maybe like Rena or some of the older ones. Shelbel, hello, how are you? She's getting there, and I hate to say it every time, but Life by Jen was in her 40s when she passed away. What's the big difference? Except Jen seemed to have a little more help, which makes me sick. Yeah. So, we shall see, we shall see. But I think going back now for the channel going forward, she was going to get a lot of views on these first couple coming back. She was going to get a lot of them coming back. People are going to watch. They're going to want to know. She's going on for 6 hours at a time, so it's tacking up to like 30,000 views. And I'm sure there's an ad every 3 minutes. Because that's how she's scamming. She's scamming, so that's how she's going to recoup it. But for how broke she's going to be in the meantime, I'm wondering what other money now, pay you later things. Her I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. It was Pluto from Popeye. Remember the movie with Robin Williams and that really pretty woman from The Shining? Shelley Duvall. She played Olive Oil. That was more entertaining than Chantal's last live stream. I know. Sitting there high, this goes back to an old argument. Sitting there high in a hijab, people have problems with. You know. The tomato growing methods. We still have the topsy-turvy on the porch, and it's growing. We're going to do an update shortly. But the tomato that's growing upside down is growing quite well. Like, really, it's been fine. So, why did I say Pluto? Who's Pluto? It is Wimpy. Not the dog Pluto. Was there somebody else in the Popeye realm named that? I don't know. Yeah. Well, she didn't think who rehomes a cat that's not spayed or neutered? That's overweight. If that cat had enough time to get that fat, there was enough time to get it to a vet. She is a big woman. She's always been a big woman. It's hard to tell. She probably wants a new pad or a new phone because she wants new filters. The cop was Pluto. Thank you. See, you never know what's like misfiring and what's you're totally gone. One of these days, you'll be totally gone. Okay. I remember the Nintendo game. It came out in like 1984. I was a little kid playing it. And it was olive oil, playing out hearts and flowers, and you had to run around like Popeye and go get I'll get all the little hearts. It was cute. Yeah, but especially, I mean, a well-adjusted cat would have a hard time with Chantal, to say nothing about one that's been rehomed, that's vulnerable, you know, with a name close to my heart. And it's just lousy. It's a lousy person kind of thing to do. I don't know. Lousy is the only way I can think to put it. Oh, I love my old 8-bits, LA. Love them. I have the NES and the SNES minis, so I don't have the machine with the games. I have the actual one. It's like a one unit. It has about 16 to 30 games. One is for Super Nintendo, one is for regular. I still have some old geek memories that go way back. Way back. See, I was a fat and lonely child, so I played a lot of video games and I bowled. So, you know, I carved out my own little niche, I suppose. Wimpy was the character who said that in the Popeye cartoon. Oh. I remember the spinach, squeeze the can and it goes up. Kind of how Chantal eats her cheese, just squeeze the package, whoo! Open the mouth, falls right in. I don't think she'll be ordering as much food. I think she's going to be talking about turning over a new leaf and doing more home cooking. Because right now the excuse for getting takeout is she has nothing to cook with. So then when someone comes through and buys her a goddamn air fryer, she'll be doing more cooking at home. It's less expensive. And then once she gets back into a routine of her checks, you know, it'll be back to usual. It'll be back to usual. She'll just, every few months, find something to make a fool of herself with or something to exploit. She'll go through her cycles of money. The shit'll start to get crazy right before Christmas, like it does with everybody. And another year will roll by on YouTube. Another year fat, another year alone. But yes, I will gladly pay you Tuesday. I love the Angry Video Game Nerd. Love. In fact, Mark hates him because I watch it all the time. I tend to watch 1990s wrestling, Video Game Nerd, Bigfoot documentaries, stuff like that. I think Sal is done, Annie. My personal opinion is Sal is done. I think he's done with her, pretty much. And she did what she probably promised she would never do, which is dump him and leave him with all her responsibilities. And she did the same thing to the last guy. She doesn't close, there's no closure with Chantal. She leaves like a thief in the night with all her stuff and her money. I don't know, Elizabeth. People who send her the money mean well. There's some new dude out there who was supposed to be like a cheerleader for her. I don't know. Hey Panda, how are you? I think that people give the money because they think it's for a good reason. They don't know. But we all come into the Chantal timeline at a different place. Like I started watching Chantal pre-COVID and making videos about her pre-COVID. And there was times I'd make a couple a week, and there was times I didn't do as many, and then we did lives, and then we didn't, and then we recorded. But in one way or another, I've been following her this whole time, and she hasn't changed a whole lot, really. She has fewer friends. She's less mobile. She's not as financially well. She never seemed like she was filthy rich, like in maybe the BB period, but it was enough to get by. She wasn't hawking stuff to try to get cash instantly. The hamburger today, pay you Tuesday. That's her hustle. Showed my vet your video of Smokey. He said he wasn't spaying and looked like he's acclimating really well, actually. Anybody can Google anything and find someone to agree with them. I'll help you beg the bullshit, honey, but I ain't carrying it. She ran out of lies, LA. That's what she ran out of. Story times. She ran out of lies. They were always exaggerated anyway. I've been watching you watch her since, yeah, I was going to say 2017. I think end of 2017 is probably about it. I was just getting my feet wet with following her and reacting, and I was following Amber Lynn at the time too, but Amber Lynn is, so, to me, very boring. I don't care what happens to her in any sort of way, so I don't watch. I don't know. I think that, yeah, boring. She's like Chantal, but boring. It's like all the evil, but can't get off the couch to do it. Whereas Chantal will, get a ride. But when I was starting to watch Amber, it seemed like the same story cycled itself through every few years. She'd meet a new woman that she would turn into a CNA, nurse's aide. And then they'd leave and she'd feel abandoned. How could you leave me when I'm sick? Bitch, you've been sick for 30 years. With one way or another. So, yeah. Amber, there's always some drama going off camera. I can't talk about it right now. But I just want to say things are in the works and da-da-da-da-da. Always has these vague, kind of nebulous health problems that could be anything from a hangnail to cancer, and she's not sure which. So that's our girl. That's Amberlyn Reed. I don't think she's necessarily a lesbian. I think it's easier to manipulate women emotionally, and so she does. I think that's why she goes the route she does with relationships. I can't tell you who she really likes or doesn't. Of course, I don't know for sure, but it was the vibe I got. Chantal would make the most money off of her health issues, but she doesn't put them out front because it would confirm the obvious that every decision she makes is detrimental to her health. Everyone. I haven't watched Glitter and Lasers. She only came on to my Anna's her name. Good to know. She only came onto my radar when she was doing some sort of 5K. There was some sort of event she was going to do, and people were like, "Yay, fitness! She's doing the deal this time." It reminded me of the Charlie Gold rah rah at the beginning. But then apparently this woman was just sponsored to do it, so it was all very inspiring, but sponsored. So people I think perceived it different. I don't know. I don't know anything about her, good or bad. I know she gets locked up with the rest of them. Dank Fupa is hilarious. Dank Fupa has a bunch of recent videos that are being updated, and then when she first got to Kuwait, he has some old Foodie Beauty ones, and they are a riot. If you're into foodie lore and you know all the Easter eggs and all the stuff, you'll love it. You'll love it. It's not gross. It doesn't. It's not like you would think her life would be something like Ren and Stimpy if it was animated, but. Yeah. Oh, Dank Fupa is so good. That's a talent I don't have. That's a talent I just watch in awe. Hmm. Totally Adult Swim, totally. And it's well done. The voices are good. The animation is good. It's got definitely like Adult Swim, South Park kind of vibes. So, Carabella, hello, hello. It's a nice night for a cocktail on the patio. It is. Anywhere. We're having fruit because it's kind of too hot to have food. So we're not going to finish that. That was ramen. So we're having some of that, and then we're finishing up the rest of our watermelon, and I think there's a piece of a nectarine under there or something somewhere. And that's all. But thank you for joining us, Carabelle. Love to see Shanny added to Dank Food, but there's a few I would like to see, but I understand he has to have people with a big audience. Not that she doesn't, though. Shanny has a big enough audience that you could make fun of her. And people would know. It's only 59 degrees in Canada. Ugh. Next week's going to be blazing. It's going to be blazing here. It's going to be like 100 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday. We have a heat advisory here in Pennsylvania on this corner of the state until Wednesday night at midnight, I think. So it's going to be hot. Like cooling centers open. We have a drop-in center where I work, and it's not meant to be a place for homeless people to come necessarily. We have people who get mental health services who happen to not have a home. So, of course, they meet the criteria. You don't need to have somewhere to live. But a lot of them will come in just because it's blazing hot outside. And I asked on Friday before I left, I was like, can you guys take a look at the, Julia's doing well with other cats. Yeah, Julia, they all split up. They all went their own ways. Yeah. Yeah, it's nasty. I'd rather stay inside. We have an air conditioner. We just have one window unit, and it's enough. It covers the bedroom, which is where Mark spends probably most of his time. And the living room, we have a ceiling fan, keeps it cool. And since I've lost a little bit of weight, and it's summer, so I'm wearing summer clothes, I'm much more comfortable. Amber saying she lost 2.3 pounds last week. Fuck, she probably has that much stuck in her teeth. Yeah, she probably did go out and get herself a little window unit. A little something like that for her place. She needs it. It's all entertainment anyway, guys. I'm just an entertainer. It's not that deep. There's a lot of entertainers I watch. I don't send them air conditioners. I send property and gifts and stuff to people I like and to charities that are important to me. And if I find someone and I think you'll like this or like, you know what I mean? But I'm just gonna be like, God, I love this YouTuber. I'm gonna buy them an air conditioner. I know there's people with giant hearts out there. I just can't get my heart around it. I can't get my head around that level of generosity. I was pointing out that the bench had a 250. Oh God, God bless the Mark. Weight limit is a concern for all of her things, I think. She broke all the furniture. I mean, she was very matter of fact about breaking the furniture in her apartment in Kuwait. Very matter of fact about it. So what? So I broke a couch. Most of us don't. Most of us don't. And most of us who do are big. Aw, thanks, Carabella. Well, you got a big heart. I know, that's why. We're comfortable. We're perfectly fine. We're perfectly comfortable. Thank you for thinking of us. Um, because it is a little bit more comfortable in here than it could be. The living room is nice and cozy. It's maybe the thermostat says low 70s. So, yeah, Andy, she does a freaking belly flop onto the couch. It's like, hi guys. Oh, wait, here we go. Dun 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 dun. Hi guys. And then wonders why the furniture breaks. I don't know what could have happened. I mean, it wasn't made out of titanium. It was bound to give. They're bound to give. I've seen people hurt themselves into like chairs like that, but not when they're 400 pounds. You're just asking to break shit. Oh, I know. Broke the toilet. Yeah, toilets can be unforgiving for big folks too. So, Steve, did you get Juneteenth off of work? I did. Mark didn't have it off, but I had it off. Um, Federal holiday, and um, the place I work follows the county days off and all that stuff. So like we get Veterans Day off, which a lot of people don't, but I get Veterans Day off. We get off Juneteenth, and there's a couple other ones. So. No man, no cat, no car, no seaside apartment. What's the next brag? You know what, Ross? I don't know. What else could she lose that she could brag about? Her feet? Yeah. Well, I work for a good place. But I mean, it's only in the last couple of years when they started making Juneteenth an observable holiday when that happened. So we did get lucky. And every other Friday, I have a short day. A short day of work. I only have to work 2.5 or 3 hours every other Friday. So this one, I had off Thursday, went into work for 3 hours Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. So, introduction of a new vulnerable animal is awful. Thank goodness you don't show her dreadful life. Thank you, Nissa. Thank you, thank you. And no, I'm not interested in showing her. Anybody who's looking at a reactor has heard about or knows whatever awful thing she's done. I don't need to give her more face time. Even on our channel, who has absolutely no reach, But, so. Oh, gifted memberships. Oh, received memberships. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Such a nice room full of people. Such a nice group full of people. That's cool, too, because when we do the members only, there will be just that many more of us to hang out when we do the members only with Mark. So, I don't have any birthday, but my birthday's on a Monday. It's on the 7th. It's on a Monday. I'll have to work. It's right after 4th of July weekend, so I was going to take half a day Thursday because I have a dentist appointment, and then 4th of July we're closed. Weekend we're closed. And then Monday, 7/7. 7/7. You can check with my mom. I think she's pretty sure. She's not sure when her own birthday is. My grandmother and the paperwork from the hospital said different things. So... all these fine, wonderful folks. That's cool. I hope I get a funfetti cake too. Even if it's a cupcake with a little funfetti on the inside. I don't really do birthdays, mine or anybody else's, so. Root canal on the 3rd. I'm going to have some work done on the 2nd. I'm taking half a day off and haven't been to the dentist in too long. And I have a flexible spending plan where I work, and it refreshes at the beginning of the fiscal year, so all the money I want for my medical expenses, I get in a lump sum, and then it's paid out direct withdrawal from my check every week until the year's over. And it's pre-tax money, so it's, you get a little extra. And that'll be enough to put the money down so I can go get my own root canal, probably. I'm guessing I need an extraction, 2 root canals. I don't know. We'll see. I know I need more. History with eating disorders. I have 4 fake in the back here. There's 2 crowns, and then another crown, and then I really shittily put one in. I went to one of those chain dental places, and they were terrible. It's like they took a wad of gum and just shoved it up into space. But then I have over here that's got to probably come out. So I don't have a whole lot of teeth either, like Chantel. So I want to keep what I got. Well, she needs the drama, I think, Elizabeth. I think she definitely needs the drama to keep it going forward. Without it, what does she have? In 2 weeks, this was as big as it was when she got back. I think she wanted the big Nikocado avocado. Oh my god, wool over the eyes. There was no wool over the eyes. Everyone watched as the fine details of her being thrown out of a country were leaked. She showed back up in the place everyone said she'd be and acted like everyone was somehow still wrong. Let's see. All of this was predicted, except the audacity to get another cat. They thought you'd at least give it a little time before you'd help yourself to, if you're going to make that kind of morally bankrupt kind of content, you're just going to walk a line with people who are going to do things like call pet stores and who are going to call stuff like that. There's people who feel so strong about that they're going to take it to the next level. So advertise, as much as you want. Divorce drama, abuse drama. Ugh. I don't care what Solid did to her. nothing beats ditching you in the Middle East. I mean, where's he gonna go? She just left him holding her purse with a cat in it. That's lousy. That is so lousy. If you even care for someone, even if you're not in love with them, but if you even care for someone, could you just leave them like that? With such little, that's the kind of remorse you think you'd wear. Like if I found out in some sort of way that I could never see Mark or the cats again, and all of a sudden I popped up abroad, and I was like, did one video where for 5 minutes I seemed bummed, and then the rest of it was like, all this shit never happened. None of it happened. Like, oh, Salo will spill some tea. Somebody will get to him. There'll be someone who has a little taste for, you know, and they'll get into his head. He's not that smart, Sala. I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think he's very bright. I think he could be easily manipulated by talking about sex stuff. So, oh, she was totally more upset about the cat rescue. Oh. I don't know, Elizabeth. That's the curious thing is, what would he say? What will he say? Somebody will get it out of him. This is YouTube. Somebody will track down Sala, or somebody will pretend to be Sala, and someone will track that person down. And then there will be 15 days of community posts from her about how it's everyone's fault that she weren't there to begin with, because if she didn't have haters, she wouldn't have had to move to Kuwait. Yeah, his fetish fantasies. They're so, boutique? Is that the word? Unique? That you're not going to find a whole lot of people that are going to go, oh, okay, well, it's not my thing, but sure. I think if you're talking about certain sexual practices that are maybe a little bit taboo, or that were taboo before but aren't now, you'd be like, ooh, that's risque. No one's going to go, ooh, shit on my chest. That's risque. Like, that's not how that... That's not... No, I don't know. You're going to find people that love it, but not most people. And most people aren't going to go, hey, man, I don't get it. Maybe I tried it in college, but that's all you. Fucking people. So, we had all our fruit. Yeah. Kink shame? I don't know, whatever. That's just something made up by freaks to not be called out for being freaks. But, yeah. I like a good freak, too. But it's just a matter of language. But I don't think kink, wrapping that into kink is the same sort of thing. Like, you'll see examples of kink at pride parades. For the whole month of June they had them. And you'll see images of that in dress and in play and in stuff. You don't see anyone treating each other like a toilet. If it does happen, it's out of sight, out of mind. She treated him like she treated Pete's and dumped him. Left him high and dry. But Pete's took it and paid and still loves her. Sala has no such love. I would agree with that, Samantha. Pete's would turn around today. He may have already now and said, Chantal, you're the one I've wanted all along. Please don't go away. Please don't leave me. And either one would take it. He's desperate enough to take her. And she's lonely enough to settle for him. So. Yes, Foxy, absolutely. As long as the door stays closed. And maybe, when therapists have those little white noise machines they put outside the door, so you can't hear what the people inside are doing? She needs one of those, too, behind the closed doors. Maybe stuff some towels so the smell doesn't get out either. Ran around the bottom. God. Well, folks, this has been nice. We had a nice time tonight. Oh, her broken feet. Wear and tear. What else? Folks, we finished our fruit, pretty much. And finished half the ramen. That's okay. So we're gonna leave it there with our foodie girl. I'm gonna keep up with her, with the once a week chats, but they're gonna be smaller like this. It'll be more like a low key, just catch up with what she's doing rather than be giving the news report of what's going on with her. So, definitely, you're welcome for the entertainment. Thank you for being here. We have a bunch of new members now via gift and sign up, so thank you very much. And we'll be having a member live this week, Carabella. I put it in ink on the calendar, so it's happening. So thank everyone for joining me. Thank you everyone for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and go live. Oh, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All our contact info is below as well. Thanks, and we'll catch up with you very soon. You'll be talking to Mark next. Not sure when. You'll see him soon, though. Okay? Thanks for watching. Bye. Hit that thumbs up.